That was the second article. Let's drop those. Let's talk about Amazon, AWS. Many of you guys want to get into the sales and cloud computing and cloud engineering and so forth. Let's talk about how much money you can make at Amazon Web Services, because they reviewed their salaries. Amazon Web Services, the long-standing leader in cloud computing, is staffing up to keep its cloud business on top of rivals Microsoft and Google. They're hiring, guys. Tech is still hiring. I'm telling you, you got the skills. You can get hired. Building on the growth of its business during the pandemic, when the companies rushed to the cloud to support remote work, AWS mostly maintained that momentum. The cloud unit grew 36% year over year last quarter and brought in $18.4 billion in revenue. The recent market downturn and fears of a recession have affected companies' IT budgets, and some data shows that cloud spend on Amazon, Microsoft, and Google fell in April. Hiring tech talent is essential for AWS to keep up the quality of its cloud services and build its portfolio of products, expand into businesses into the new industries, and support customers as they transition from data centers to cloud. Although AWS does not share their employee salaries, you guys know how they do it. They look at people's salaries who are on H-1B visas and so forth. And this is how they came up with the numbers. Developers. Let's talk about developers, guys. Some of you guys want to be developers. Let's talk about how much money these guys are making. Developer, AWS software and system engineers are paid up to $185,000.
Damn!
Okay. At the manager 3, software development, $130 to $185.
Damn!
Software development engineer 1, $66,000 to $175.
Damn!
Software engineer 2, $90 to $180. Software development engineer 3, $112 to $185. Software development engineer 2, $90 to $156. IT app development engineer, $91 to $150. All great salaries, guys. Just imagine coming out of school making $67,000 work for Amazon, knowing that you have an opportunity to get equity, stock, all that sort of stuff, right? That's one thing that these salaries don't tell you. They don't tell you what other perks that you get. So if you're making $125, you're probably going to get some equity, stock, and so forth in Amazon. Good amount of money. If you're in a manager role, which I encourage you guys to do, you're in a manager role, you're going to make even more money. Even more money. Engineers, AWS engineers in security, enterprise, and business are paid up to $185. Technical business developer 3, $104 to $176.
Damn!
Okay. Support engineers. Support engineer 1, $58,000 to $119. Support engineer 2, $71 to $120. Cloud support engineer, $102 to $142. Data science, AIME, right? Data analyst. Data science, data analysts, data engineers. A level 2 data engineer at Amazon earns $175.
Damn!
That's a good salary, man. I'm telling you like that. That is a fantastic salary. A fantastic data scientist too, $91 to $150. If you become part of the Patreon and you're a professional member, Google Cloud certificates, professional certificates, you get access to it, which is $40 per month. If you were to go on your own, it is $40 per month. If you are a Patreon member, you get access to it for free. For free, meaning you can get Cloud Professional or Google Professional certificates for free as part of my Patreon membership, because of what I do is bring you guys value. Bring you guys value. And I am proud to share those statistics. Scientists, AW or a level 3 scientist at AWS earns up to $185. Program and product managers, project managers, program managers, product managers. The highest paid program manager, which is a senior project manager, earns up to $173, guys. Up to $173, and that's not talking about equity and so forth. Solutions architect, make as much as $185. Professional services professionals, these are consultants and so forth, make up to $185. Business analysts, another field that I'm encouraging many of you guys to go in because you are a consultant as well. paid up to 140. Up to 140. As you become a business analyst, you are becoming a subject matter expert. You can pivot to data. You can pivot to architect. You can pivot to program management, product management, and so forth. Sales analyst, sales operations, 155. You guys are looking at these salaries probably saying, God damn, especially if you ain't making some of this money. Especially if you aren't making this sort of money. If your salary is sitting at about $60,000 right now, 155 looks real good for you. If your salary is sitting at $80,000 right now, 140 looks real good to you. If your salary is sitting at $100,000, 185 looks real good to you. Real good. If your salary is sitting at a 120, 173 looks real good. Just imagine, go out there and buy yourself a nice little boat so you can tie up with Mr. Antoine Wade. We can have our families playing in the water together, splashing. Look at that. We got our kids on the back of the boat, tubing. We call them the black boaters. Oh, man, we have all kind of people on the lake. Like, who are these people? Are they athletes? Hell no, we just in tech, guys. We just in tech, making that money. Oh, gosh, ladder climbing. I'm having a good time, guys. I'm having a good time. All right, let's move on. Let's move on. I'm having too much fun right now. I'm having too much fun. All right, cloud engineering. Let's talk about cloud engineering, guys. Cloud engineers can land salaries of more than $200,000. We asked leaders at Amazon, Google, how outsiders can break into these roles and what qualifications they need. You're looking to be a cloud engineer. You're thinking about cloud. This is the article for you. Ladies, this was published on yesterday. I bring you that up-to-date information at the right time. Technical talent to work in cloud computing is in high demand. Engineers at top tech firms can earn up to $200,000 in base salary. Leaders at Amazon Web Services and Google Cloud shared their tips for breaking into cloud engineering. Guys, here it is. Here it is. Cloud computing is one of the hottest areas for technical talent looking for well-compensated roles right now. They're looking to hire you, guys. They're looking to bring you on if you're interested in cloud and network engineering and cloud computing and so forth. The cloud market totaled $90 billion in 2021, growing 41% from $64 billion, according to Gartner. To keep up with this pace, cloud giants are willing to pay well for their staff. Cloud engineers can land salaries ranging from $76,000 to $246,000. God damn! That's a lot of money, man. I'm telling you, man. $246,000. That is a lot of money. As more organizations outsource their data handling to AWS, Google, and Microsoft, business leaders are having to adapt at a faster pace than their staff. So Gartner also found that 64% of tech executives said that a lack of available talent have hindered their transition to the cloud above the implementation costs. So cloud engineering is not only lucrative, but it also is versatile. Many traditional engineering roles now involve working on big data, machine learning, quantum computing. The cloud is an enabler for all of those accelerating technologies that are becoming part of the engineering disciplines. So guys, I'm telling you, business analysts, data analysts, all this stuff, cloud engineering, you're going to be involved into all this stuff, machine learning, quantum computing, big data. That's why I say this all the time to my coaching clients, guys. It's not about which is the best, because I get asked that question all the time. What is the best, Antoine? Which one should I choose? Tell me, what should I do? Here's what I do before. What should I do? And I can only go off my opinion on the information that you share with me and so forth, right? But all I'm going to do is tell you is this: commit to something. If you commit to something and you follow that path, let's just say you decide you want to be a business analyst. You commit to that and you do that for 3 or 4 years. You can transition into sales. You can transition to the data analyst. You can transition to cloud computing and so forth. As long as you commit, you're going to learn some skills as a business analyst technology and so forth, and it's going to open up other opportunities for you. It's going to open up different lanes for you because you're going to work with different people along the way, along the journey. You're going to work with different technologies along the way, along the journey. You're going to know and provide or find out or get exposed to different salaries and say, man, this person is making this money. This, path is making this money. And you're going to decide what's best for you at that time. So just choose a path and commit to it. That's the easiest thing that you can do. Commit. Say you're going to do it and just do it. Don't get the shiny object syndrome and say, you know what, I'm going to do this. You do it for a month. You don't like it. Next, you're going to say you're going to do this. You do this for a month. You don't like it. You don't know what you like. You really don't. Unless you really spend the time in it. I'm going to tell you like this. You don't know what you like until you start to get feedback if you're good at it or not. I've done roles as an engineer and didn't like coding at some point in times. But when I got feedback that I was pretty good at it, I like coding. When I was a manager in support, I didn't like it because of the fact that I felt like I was a counselor and a coach more than I was a manager. And I wanted to do the day-to-day stuff, the technical stuff. But when I got feedback that I was good at it, I became a better manager. I like to be a manager. I like to lead people. So what I'm saying is that once you commit to something and you start to get the feedback, that's when you really find out if you like it or not. And that comes with spending time being disciplined and learning as much as possible. Not just saying, I'm not good at math, so I'm not going to go down this path. Pick something for me. I'm going to try this, and all of a sudden you stop. That is creating bad habits for yourself of non-commitment. And the people who win are the people who commit and stay the path. I did an article on the gentleman, Isaac Barnes, who was the CEO for 11 years before he got the $1 billion contract for the government contracts. 11 years, guys. It takes discipline. It doesn't happen overnight. And I think many of you think that it happens overnight. It does not. It will not. It takes discipline and it takes commitment. All right. So when you think about this whole cloud journey, think about becoming disciplined and staying committed. Cloud engineering is not only lucrative, but versatile. Many traditional engineer roles involve working in big data, machine learning, quantum computing, and so forth. The cloud is an enabler for all those accelerating technologies. Insider spoke to some of the big players in the cloud sales to ask their biggest tips for bagging a high-paying job in cloud engineering. Number one, you can succeed without a technical background. Let me say that again. You can succeed without a technical background. And far too many times, I'm hearing from you all, I can't do this. I don't want to do this. I don't have a technical background. You can get into tech working for a tech company without a technical background. You don't have to have the MIS major. You don't have to have the IT major. You don't have to have the computer science major, the computer engineering major. You just have to have a willingness to learn and have made that commitment. While every engineering role requires a large or a degree of expertise, Google Cloud VP Kripta Krishna emphasized a variety of roles available. You can actually be an engineer working in software, hardware, infrastructure, networking, or machine learning, she said, but you can also work in product or user experience or technical program management or developer relationships. And then you can build your skills as you go along. Describing herself as extremely involved in the recruitment process, Krista said her 1,000 strong team recruited from a variety of academic backgrounds, not just computer scientists and programmers, but also those with degrees in philosophy and literature. I was an arts major, she told Insider. I spent a lot of time in music and theater. I directed a bunch of plays. I was in a band for a while. I did a bunch of random things. After going back to school to study for my master's in computer science, Krista soon landed a role as a technical program manager at Google. If it weren't for my college advisors who basically forced me to in a cab to go to an interview, I don't think I would have tried. Okay? If it wasn't for the people that she worked with or went to school with saying, God, you know what? Yeah, you don't have a background in tech, but you have a master's in computer science. Go, apply. Apply. Her professors forced her into the cab and said, go to the interview. I'm forcing you all into the cab and saying to you, go to an interview, get into tech. You can do it. I had a good coaching conversation with a gentleman who's in the school systems last week. And he wants to get into tech. He's at a high level in the school systems. He wants to get into tech, and he showed me his portfolio, the things that he's actually doing. He has all the skills already to become a data analyst. Now we're working with him to become a data analyst. I'm that professor that she had that's saying, guys, get into the cab, go to the interview, apply. You can do it. I think a lot of employers are looking for people that are curious and willing to learn and understand in a high-tech environment that learning doesn't stop. Once you realize engineering is something you want to do, clearly that's some amount of skills gaps. But you can do online courses like Coursera or Open Search, but learning is the most important part. Guys, you just got to learn. You got to be committed to learning new things. 2, less qualified employees often perform better down the line. There are a few things I look for. Critical thinking and creativity in particular, and whether someone's able to solve problems holistically. I look for persistence. To be cutting edge and innovative, it's really important to find unconventional ways to get to the right outcomes. And we don't have the option of giving up when the going gets tough. AWS Kelly said, many traditional engineering roles that have been reworked to focus on problems in big data, machine learning, and quantum computing. The cloud is an enabler for all of those accelerating technologies. For those learning on the job, Christian agreed, the first thing to do is ask a lot of incessant questions. The hardest thing to do is to get past imposter syndrome. But learning is key, and being unafraid to ask what seems like basic questions and super, super important. Okay, the more you ask, the more you learn. The better position that are built to, the more they ask and learn, the better position they are to build better concepts and products. Guys, so 2 ways that you can get into cloud engineering. Search, apply, commit. You can be engineering, you can be outside of engineering. You can have a technical degree, you cannot have a technical degree. Commit to learning. Commit to going through the process. Commit to interviewing. Use what I told you before. Commit to being creative. If you're going to be a student to consistently learn new things, you're going to be able to break into the cloud engineering industry. Okay? All right. Let's do this one.